Hi, here's an automation that allows you to create a new SharePoint site whenever something happens to an item within Monday.com. So we can see we have a board here, and we've got a button for triggering workflows and a button for triggering automations. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hook up this workflow button to a workflow. So we're going to say when button is clicked, and we choose the board, and we choose the button, the workflow button, and we have an action, and this is SharePoint, create a SharePoint site. And now we go in with one of our SharePoint credentials, or we could sign in with a new account. And now we can say, I want the SharePoint site to be named after the group name and the item name. I'm just going to add from Monday.com, just so that we know that this is where it's been created. And we publish the workflow. And now we get back over to the board, and we can trigger the workflow here. And the workflow kicks off. It says the workflow is completed. And now we have a new column appears with a link to the SharePoint site. And then we can go directly to the SharePoint site. So it says Program X, Project X. So that's the workflow version of that. But we also have an automation version of this as well. So to trigger the automation, we can go in here and into Manage and create automation. And we can say, when a button's clicked, and search for SharePoint, and create SharePoint site. So then it asks us for our credentials, and it wants to see a site name. So we're going to say, again, let's have group name, and the item's name as well. So that's the item's name. I'm going to say this is from Monday.com automation this time. So slightly different site name. And save that. Oh, we need to trigger it on a button click. So we're going to trigger it on the automation button. So that's done. Now, if we click on the automation here, it says an automation is running. The automation is completed. And now the SharePoint site has been created and linked to, so we can see now project Program X, Project Y from Monday.com automation. So that's two ways of creating a SharePoint site from an action on a Monday.com item.